Making a game is something I've always wanted to do. It always seemed like fun, kind of creating your own things. And so one day I just thought, why not? So I did a quick Google search, see what I needed. Apparently all you need is a game engine, and you need to learn how to use that engine. So I looked around for a little while and eventually settled on Game Maker Studio because it seemed user-friendly. And I think that's the only reason why I chose it. After getting Game Maker Studio, I looked around YouTube for a while, finished up some tutorials here and there, and I thought, okay, it's time to make my game. As it turns out, I wasn't able to make anything on my own without going on YouTube and basically just copying any code I saw, because whenever I tried to do it from either memory or just creating something by myself, it would really never work. So I assumed I was just too dumb for this, and yeah. So making a game is something I've always wanted to do. It always seemed like fun, and I do have that game engine that I'd never really learned how to use. So I figured, why not? Let's actually do it this time. So I went back to YouTube and just did a bunch of tutorials. Anything I could find, I would follow along. And it got to the point where I could memorize how to make my character move from scratch. And that's it. That's all I learned from hours of tutorials, because I just couldn't retain any of the information, or I just wasn't smart enough to figure out how to do things on my own. I was at a point where I thought, this isn't something that I could do. It's just way beyond me, and anyone who knows what they're doing is because they went to school for it, or they were just actually smart. So at this point, I started looking for online courses, not just on YouTube. Eventually, I found a course on Udemy, and it was on sale. It was like $15 at the time. So I decided, why not? It's just $15. So I took the course, and yeah, I actually did learn a lot from it. Now that I felt a little bit more confident about my skills, I started making my game. Started off with the main character. I thought, what's something that people like? And then I thought about, what do I like? And, I like turtles. Turtles are pretty cute.
I like turtles.
So I started working on a main character. I tried making him as turtle-like as possible, but I didn't like it at first. It was kind of ugly. So I tried again, and it looked a little better, but I still didn't like it, and tried one more time. And yeah, I liked the way it looked. I thought it looked pretty cute, and you could still tell it's a turtle.
I like turtles.
And obviously a game just isn't like a main character walking, you need some kind of obstacles and stuff like that. It's a platformer, so obviously platforms will be involved. But I needed enemies for my turtle to fight, and so I kind of googled what are natural predators for turtles, and as it turned out, it's just anything that can catch up to a turtle. And yeah, like a lot of stuff eat turtles apparently. If they can get it, they can eat them. So now I needed a way for the turtle to fight back. Obviously you can do the basic thing and have the turtle jump on the enemies just like a bunch of other platformers do. But I thought that was a little boring, so I made a little dash attack. Because I've seen the videos of the turtles just kind of bumping into stuff, and I always thought that was funny. And so yeah, that's what I made the attack. So I ran into the problem where the player could just spam the attack button. Since the attack button isn't basically a dash, it moves you forward, they could just keep pressing the dash button and basically go through the whole level without really doing anything other than attacking. So the way I fixed it was by having a limited amount of dashes that the player could have when they start off. You're able to get your dashes back by attacking creatures, but the drops they give you only have a 75% chance to give you a dash back, so you won't always get your dashes back. In school, like in elementary school or something, you learn about the fight or flight mechanic that most animals have in nature. And so I thought about kind of using that in my game. Like, if it's a bigger opponent, you might not be able to kill it off with the amount of dashes that you have, so you'd have to run away or use a dash to get away from the creature. After I settled on that for my game mechanic, I started working on some other things like the main menu, the pause screen, and it's obvious you need hit points. Now, coding all the stuff wasn't as time consuming as drawing the things or making them in pixel art, because that stuff takes so long for me. It just, I'm just not the best artist, and I thought about hiring somebody or like paying somebody on Fiverr or one of those websites to like make pixel art for me, but then I remembered I'm poor, so that's not really an option, so I'll just have to deal with it. Spend a lot of time trying to make my tiles and characters and things. But that's alright, because it gives the game this feel that it was made by the same person, which, I do enjoy. By this point, the game was looking pretty nice, especially for a first game, I think. And so I decided to put it out as a demo on itch.io. For the music, I just kind of looked and see what free assets there were, because, on top of coding the game and making the art for it, I don't think I could handle learning another skill like making music for it, so I just grabbed something that looked or sounded nice, I guess. Somebody on Reddit mentioned that I should have a development blog for the game, because it brings more attention to it and it's just nice to see how the game came about. Unfortunately, I didn't really think about it until after the demo was out. But that's alright, the game still has a long way to go. I'm still making a lot of changes to it and improvements. But yeah, now we're at this point. The game is out. This is my first development blog. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you have any ideas or feedback about the game, please let me know. It really does help. Again, thanks for watching. Be good and be safe.